MMAViking.com here with John Kavanagh, the godfather of Irish MMA. We've established that before. You know, there used to be a day, I think we interviewed almost 2 years ago now, where you could just walk up to you and get an interview. Now there's a long line.
I guess we're getting some good momentum going now, getting some good wins, and I think other people are starting to see what the guys are capable of doing. And so it's good times, so long may it continue.
Yeah, I mean, you got your shoes off on the couch having snacks with Dana White now. What kind of lifestyle? What's happened here?
Yeah, that was a very surreal experience for me. I've never spoken to Dana before. I walked into the room. I was first there. Conor hadn't arrived yet, and felt a bit nervous, and I sort of sat away from him. And he was like, "Get over here, sit down beside me." And just went over. This is the guy I've been watching on TV for so long. So yeah, it was a fun
You really
experience.
performed. It looked like you were lounging all day and running out in margaritas and going in the hot tub with Dana. You looked all settled in there.
No, they edited it well, but it as you see, like we were there for about an hour before Conor arrived, and if I'm being honest, there was free wine, and that certainly helped me relax, getting some of that raspberry jackhammer into me. So yeah,
Everyone loves the raspberry jackhammer. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I think so too. So it went well.
First, I want to thank you, Danny here that takes all our videos. And me, we actually trained at SPG Ireland when we were there in Dublin.
Okay.
And I just want to thank you. We just walked in. I don't know if we're supposed to pay, but very gracious and a great place to train and great classes. And we saw some great grappling. So first of all, thanks to you.
You got away without paying? We got to talk about this.
Okay, I shouldn't spread that rumor. But there was a moment after Conor's fight, and you were leaving the cage, and I think you got out your phone. I don't know if you took a selfie or took a picture of the crowd. It looked like you were really having a moment that you just took in there.
In Ireland?
Yeah, after the main event. I know you stopped and kind of everyone was going. Did you kind of take it all in at that one point?
Yeah, I didn't want to think about it too much in the lead up, but you've got to realize, like, I'm thinking that about 18 years ago, I saw my first UFC, and then I don't like saying this, but in a way, you could kind of say that it was a large part. It was down to me introducing the sport and bringing up the guys that brought the UFC to my country. And I actually took that picture. I just sent it to my mother. I didn't put that anywhere else. I just sent it to my mom just to say, like, wow, like this is kind of down to what I've done. Like, so it was a rare moment of stopping and just appreciating, and this has been a dream of mine for so long, and just all those years and years and years of training in little halls and being broke all the time and having to work 2 or 3 jobs just so I could train in the sport that I love, and then just to stop there for a second and to say, my main event, co-main event guys ran through their guys, 4-0 that night, sold out arena, fastest selling event, biggest selling event on Fight Pass, so on and so on, so many records broken. I'll be honest and say that caught me.
Okay, I just remember looking at you there, and I just felt like everything you're saying, I just thought like this is kind of like, if you weren't on the scene, if you weren't there, if you didn't put all these years of hard work, no one would be here, and the world really got to see your moment.
Yeah. I don't think anything will. I even said, like, if we go away and win UFC belts in Vegas, that's great, but I don't think anything is ever going to match just what that night was like to me to have. And the following day, the messages I got with people that I'd never met that were at the event saying it's changed their life. They were never so proud to be Irish. We don't have a whole lot to cheer about at home. Like all countries, we feel a bit let down by our politicians. The economy is in trouble. We don't, maybe not doing great in other sports. And then suddenly for in my opinion, the one true sport, we go ahead and become world class at it. And not only bring the event to our homeland, but to go in and put on such amazing performances. All stoppages on the night, all wins by submission or knockout. It was, like I said, between the night and my father telling me it was the most proud moment of his life and the best night of his life. And then so many messages the following day, like I said, with thousands of Irish people messaging me to say that they were once again proud to be Irish. I didn't know what, I was speechless.
Yeah, I mean, my last name's O'Leary. I go back a few generations. For me, I went to the Irish store the next day and looking at the family trees and buying all the souvenirs. It was a proud moment, even though I'm distant from my heritage, but it's really fantastic. The last question I had for you, when we talk to your guys, they always say they don't really have a game plan. We talked to Gunnar. He said, I'm going to just go in there and feel how he is. Is this your mentality? Is this you just not putting in the work and giving them a game plan, or is this just how your guys just do it?
Yeah, just to use an example, like Paddy Houlihan, he's fighting on the same night, but over in Halifax. A change of opponent with 6 days' notice. So, when I messaged Paddy that he had a new opponent, I didn't. I just wrote to him, there is no opponent. And he's like, there is no opponent. Like, it doesn't matter who it is, because you're always going to train as best you can. Like, I kind of find it funny when someone says, "Oh, it's not a title fight," or they are fighting for a belt. Oh, well, now I'm going to really train for those 5 rounds. What do you mean? You went in 70% fit for your fight. Whatever fight you go in, you're going in at 100% fitness. Whether it's 1 round or whether it's 20 rounds, you're going 100% fitness. Whoever you're facing, you want your striking to be at its best. You want your grappling to be at its best. You want your MMA game to be at its best. So the notion of going in to fight someone and you've like, oh, he does this, so I've gotten better at this area, to me it's just silly, because you might change your opponent soon, and also maybe you're watching footage of a guy 4 or 5 months ago. Who knows what he's worked on in the past? What if he walks in and suddenly now he's a southpaw? Are you going to look back at me and go, hey coach, what's this? Can we go back and drill? No, of course. You've got to go in and improvise, adapt, overcome, and still win. So my guys, we're lucky that on our mat we have all different types of body types, we have all different personalities, we have all different skill sets. So in the gym, they get to practice against all different types, and they know what techniques and strategies work. So during the fight, they can deal with whatever is put in front of them, and so there is no opponent. You're training to improve yourself. And my only goal is that from one fight to the next, we can look back and say, okay, if you were to fight yourself from 3 months ago, you'd beat them because you've improved. And it's always yes, and that's the way we've approached this one. So whoever is across the cage, there is no opponent.
So even if they come after you with like a raspberry jackhammer, you're prepared.
We've got the triple decker pecker wrecker for that one. So we're ready for that technique. Bring on the raspberry jackhammer.
Thanks, John. Always a pleasure, and good luck to you on Saturday.
Thank you, sir.